Welcome to TravelScout channel. We will take you to the beautiful Kutna Hora town of the Czech Republic for today's video. We will be going to explore this small town in the Czech Republic, Kutna Hora, and discover the best places to visit, things to do, what to eat, and everything that makes your stay here memorable. But before we start, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell for more future updates here on the TravelScout channel. Kutna Hora is a small town located about an hour outside of Prague. Although other destinations may come to mind when planning a trip to the Czech Republic, Kutna Hora is well worth a visit. The town is home to some of the best preserved Gothic architecture in Central Europe. This town is also one of the oldest silver mines in the world and is simply a beautiful and charming town that remains successful in drawing attention from wanderers like us from all over the world. But you may find yourself more interested in this place after you learn its story. The proper Czech spelling of Kutna Hora is Kutna Hora with diacritics, which you will discover on the signs when traveling to this UNESCO town. Kutna comes from the German word Kutten, which describes monks' cowls, or the Czech word Kuta, which means mine. Hora then defines a mountain or a hill. The history of Kutna Hora is connected with the founding of Sedlec Abbey in 1142, which was the first Cistercian monastery in Bohemia. There were most likely settlements in the area around the 10th century, as small silver coins were found in Malling, a district now belonging to Kutna Hora. But the real boom was just about to come. Although the information about silver in the area was bubbling under the surface, it was in the 13th century that Kutna Hora was finally put on the map. The real silver mining fever had begun, and settlers from neighboring countries, the same as local people, were moving to Kutna Hora. Thanks to the wealth generated by silver deposits, the town grew, becoming a political and economic center of Czech lands, competing even with Prague. It must be said that these times were highly chaotic until 1300, when King Wenceslaus II of Bohemia issued the new royal mining code Lus Regale Montanorum that specified all conditions for operating the mines. In fact, from this point, all the silver belonged to the king. In the 14th century, Kutna Hora started producing Prague groschen, a coin common throughout medieval Central Europe, and the town became a financial center of the lands. As we all know, nothing lasts forever. Kutna Hora then suffered a Hussite war, fires, and floods, but the final decline of Kutna Hora came in the 16th century when the production of silver coins was terminated and the city lost its privileges. Luckily, during times of expansion, many architectural gems and houses for wealthy inhabitants were built. The architecture and spirit of local people survived even the impoverished and challenging times, and today we can admire the top attractions both above and under the ground. So, what are the amazing things travelers should see and do in the small town of Kutna Hora during their stay? From my experience, I think you should go for a walking tour of Kutna Hora to learn about the town's history and make the most of our day trip. And to understand its history better, visit Kostais, or the Roman Catholic Cemetery Church of All Saints. Known as the most popular site of Kutna Hora but located in the neighboring town Sedlec, the church is a two-story charnel house of the 14th century. According to a legend, a handful of earth from Jerusalem was scattered over its cemetery in 1278, making it one of the oldest holy fields in Central Europe and a burial place very sought after. Thousands of people were buried here during plague, epidemics, and the Hussite wars, so in the 15th century, 40,000 sets of bones had to be moved into the underground chapel of the church. In 1511, a half-blind monk piled them into pyramids. The present form of the bone decoration results from Baroque modifications made by architect Gian Santini Michel in the early 18th century and woodcarver František Rindt in 1870. You can also see a coat of arms made of human bones. It belonged to Schwarzenberg, a noble family who owned the area for a while. You must also consider visiting another church named St. Barbara in Kutna Hora after visiting Kostais Church. It's one of the most famous Gothic churches in Central Europe. St. Barbara, the patron saint of miners, was a perfect fit for a town where silver mines are the sole source of wealth. The church's construction was initiated in 1388 just outside the town on a rocky cliff with a magnificent view over the Verlis River. The work was interrupted several times and was only completed in 1905. It was meant to be a much larger church, perhaps twice the size of the present building, but the construction depended on the prosperity of the town's silver mines, which lessened significantly with time. The three-peaked roof and a provisional wall had been completed by 1588. A little later, the church was occupied by Jesuits who gradually changed its structure by Baroque rules, though parts still remain Gothic. Most interior decorations date back to the late Gothic period. Choir benches were made by carver Jacob Domberski between 1480 and 1490. The fresco decorations of the chapels are fine arts masterpieces predicting religious motifs and scenes inspired by the mines and the mint. After visiting a few other churches, you may walk the royal route and see the Jesuit College and play column of the Virgin Mary Immaculate. So, what do you think of our video? Please comment down below and don't forget to like, share, subscribe and click the notification bell for more future updates here on the TravelScout channel. Thank you for watching.